We saw last week the Legislative Ethics Committee confirmed that a complaint had been lodged against former Senate President Peter Bragdon, who's now the CEO of Health Trust, is one of the risk pools that manages health insurance for cities and towns. Concord Democratic State Representative Rick Watrous, who's kind of in a gadfly in Concord, has lodged a lot of ethics complaints against a lot of city officials there, filed a complaint against Senator Bragdon, essentially saying that taking this position, $180,000 a year job, while being Senate President, amounted to an illegal gift. Also alleges that he used this position for the financial gain of the former local government center by naming a state senator, Jeannie Forrester, to a study committee who has been supportive of LGC causes in the past. What I found kind of fascinating about this was that the chairman of the committee first made it clear that just because we're going to this point of a preliminary investigation does not mean these violations have occurred. The second part essentially was former Senate President Peter Bragdon and his attorney Russell Hilliard, it's clear from their responses to the complaint, didn't take this altogether that seriously and didn't think it would get very far. But the committee decided, voting by a 6-0 vote, that it needed more information from these parties. And under its rules, once it takes that step of opening a preliminary investigation, then the complaint becomes public. What I would have expected was to have both Senator Bragdon and Russ Hilliard really aggressively fight that complaint internally and turn over as many documents as they possibly could to the committee. And here's why. If receiving all that information, the committee had said, you know, all our questions have been answered, may have looked like there was smoke here, but there's no fire, we're going to dismiss this complaint, then everything they had turned over would be confidential. But because that tact wasn't taken, the committee felt it had no other choice than to try and get more information in order to determine whether this is a valid complaint or not. So we go forward. For better or worse, Peter Bragdon continues to be dragged through this controversy, and we'll see where it lands. We'll follow it for you here at NashuaTelegraph.com.